All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here for another video update. First of all, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year and happy 2025. Let's try to make 2025 the best year yet. Believe in yourself and keep going, keep learning, keep growing your accounts. Not only in trading, keep growing in all ways. All right, so I'm going to go into Bitcoin here. Not a lot has happened since yesterday's video. I did talk about in yesterday's video that this is still kind of a holiday week that a lot of traders are going to be taking off. It was the end of the year, New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day today. So not a lot of volume, not a lot of trading, but we did get a decent move up today. So in yesterday's video, I talked about, well, we were dumping here. First of all, we were able to have a little pump, and then we started dumping, and we dumped to this local golden pocket. So if you do from just the recent lows to the highs here, and you can see we hit into that golden pocket. Let me just get the golden pocket on there. We hit into the golden pocket, and we started to see a little bit of a bounce on this candle, and we kind of started ranging sideways here. But we front ran that value area low just a little bit, and I did say I would rather see us move a little bit lower to drop into the 0.65 and actually hit the value area low. Well, over the night, we kind of just did that exact thing. So we kind of just grinded sideways and down slowly, hit into the 0.65 and the value area low. You can see we wicked a little bit past it, held it though, and then the very next candle, you can see we also held it here with this candle. And then we just started pumping. We started pumping today. Now, one important thing that I want to talk about today that happened, it's really looking kind of bullish for Bitcoin in some ways, or bullish to continue to the top of our range. We've got a range coming on here, or maybe not even, it looks like we're even starting to form within this range here. We're starting to form a smaller range as well. So I would say our bigger range is like from this here on all this price action here is our range that we're kind of trading, the bigger range. And then I would say within that bigger range, we do have an even smaller range. So we have like this range here now that's starting to develop within here, that you're starting to see this sort of range. And we can look at this range as well as kind of a smaller time frame range, and then we also are definitely going to be still paying attention to this bigger range here. So let me get those off now. And one thing that I want to show you guys, we did pump above the pitchfork band, that pitchfork band that was holding as support really well 3 times, and then since we've lost it, it's kind of been acting as a resistance all through here. Even though we pumped past it pretty good here, we lost it pretty much right away. And now we are pumping above it. You can see the first time we came up to it earlier today, it kind of rejected us to the VWAP, and then the VWAP held. And oftentimes if the VWAP holds on a trending day, it'll continue the trend. So we dropped back down to the VWAP, held the VWAP, pumped up, broke back up into this pitchfork base, what was resistance. It's the bottom of the band, the bottom of the pitchfork band. And you can see we came back down to bullishly retested it, and now we're continuing upwards. Now we are finding some resistance right now at this local golden pocket. So if we go from the last high to the low that we made last night, you can see this golden pocket here, the golden pocket 786, this JC pocket area, is acting as resistance, and we could see a turnaround from here. I also talked about in yesterday's video, I gave a couple boxes of resistance levels to be looking at, and this was one of the resistance levels there on this chart, this golden pocket area here. Let me see here. Let me look at this. Yeah, so I mean, just that golden pocket level, and then also the 786 there. Hold on now. No, that's a different pull. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken there. So disregard that last thing. But this is just, it's continuing a range. So you could do a fixed range volume profile pull from present day to like this price action here. You can look at that smaller range that's starting to develop, that smaller purple box that I showed you, and you can see it's pretty close to, now I do think we could pump a little bit higher into the 786 and to the value area high here. Like this little area right in here we might be doing pump into somewhere like this and then see the reject a more of a pushback down. But we have this smaller range now, and then we also have the bigger range, so we can continue the pull from the bigger range here. About there. Yep. All right. And so I still do think this value area high and the top of this pitchfork band is important still. Just like that's what I was showing you in that last video there. And then the golden pocket that we front ran from this high here to the low. We still do have our golden pocket that we front ran on both Bybit and Coinbase. So we're just going to continue watching these areas. You know, this, I don't know if I'd do like something like this and keep it as one big box of support. I would probably look at it more of two different trades. Something like this here could be one you're looking at, and then up here could be another level that you're kind of looking at here. That is if we don't even reject first from 95 420-ish, which is the 786. I'd say 95.6 here. That value area high of this smaller range that we're starting to develop. But it is still a low volume week. It's just probably going to be low volume until next Monday, to be honest with you guys. But we might see a little bit of movement tomorrow, a little bit of price action. So we'll just kind of keep looking at Bitcoin, keep watching the charts, keep going with the trend, trade what's in front of you. Don't force trades. And until we lose this, really, you can see both the value area lows of the smaller range and the bigger range are there. Until we lose this value area low here, we do have to say Bitcoin is showing at least some strength as far as ranging here instead of continuing to dump to 90.2K or 90K, 96K, 90.6K. And if we look at the CVD, now this is CVD on Coinbase here, you can look price action is making higher highs in here. The CVD is making lower lows, and our open interest is increasing this whole time. So we are seeing some bullish CVD, bullish absorption here. Price action making higher highs, the CVD. So you have fresh shorts coming in all through here. Those shorts are not able to push the price down. We know they're fresh shorts because the open interest is increasing and open interest is signaling new positions are opening up. So overall, Bitcoin is seeing some possibility to go higher. We also did reclaim this band, this bit lower green band of support, and back tested it and flipped it at least on a micro time frame to support. So we could continue up. I do think, I don't even know if I'd be taking this with the bullish absorption we're seeing. I would look at it, and if we do start to reject, maybe you could look at something there. But I also do like, I think the better trades here are these two up here. We do have the liquidity sitting here at 96.2-ish, so we can SFP into this golden pocket and a value area high. That's kind of a big area. But we also have this internal liquidity from this small range. So this is like the highs of this smaller range here. Let me clean this up here. So you can see that's a little bit nicer. That's at 97,340. And the SFP into the top of the pitchfork band in the 786 would be nice there. Or even if we SFP'd here and then close the candle at or below the value area high here, you could be looking for short trades. Now, you'd also want to be looking for bearish divergences on lower time frames. Money flow should be going down. Like money flow right now on the 1 hour is looking pretty good. You see money flow starting to come back in here. You can see we saw it bottom out here, and it's been flowing back in. If we go on to the 12-minute chart here, or let's do the 15-minute chart. Well, this isn't good. So this is the first time I've been looking at the charts today, and you can see all through here. Higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves, money flow starting to curve back down. So this is starting to see multiple drives of bear div on the 15-minute. But on the opposite hand, we are seeing bullish absorption on Coinbase. Let's check Bybit real quick. Yeah, Bybit's the exact opposite, you guys. CVD has been going up this whole time, so we're not really seeing bullish absorption on Bybit. Open interest is rising, though. Let me do, okay, let's check CoinGlass here. We can look at the CVD here, so you can see here the price is getting higher. Our CVD here is getting higher. So aggregated CBD, that's taking all the exchanges, most of the exchanges, into perspective and kind of averaging them out. You can see that it is decreasing just very, very slightly here from the bottom. So you can see the bottom here. Our CVD is decreasing a little bit, but our open interest is also decreasing in that same zone on CoinGlass here. So I don't know. I would say I would be looking at these bear divs right now. Now that I've just looked at the CVD on Bybit and on the aggregated, I would probably be paying more attention to these bearish divergences that are forming here rather than the possible bullish absorption on Coinbase. It doesn't mean we can't keep going higher. Now you do see this smaller range here. The value, or the POC, excuse me, is about the base of the support of this pitchfork band as well. So we could do something like a, chop for a little bit here, come down, hit this, and then come up here, hit this, and then who knows? We'll just have to see what happens. We might even make it up to this area here. So we'll just keep an eye out for that. Let's check the liquidation charts real quick. Let's see how these are doing. Now this chart is the Model 3 liquidation chart. I like this one because you can see it shows the liquidation levels that are far away. So obviously we still have a lot of liquidity resting above the like about 100K up here where that higher SFP of the larger range is. If I zoom out here onto the hourly chart and let me clean this up a little bit. This range here, this bigger range, that high that was up here around 100K. So we still have the liquidity resting above the highs of this range up here. So it might be possible we pump up here. First, we have many levels to attack and flip to support first. And then let's go back to the liquidation chart. And then we do have, look at 90K, you guys, right at 90K there, 89.3-ish. We do have that liquidity that's down there. So I do still think it's probable that we might be able to come down to that 90K area where the big range value area low is. And then we even have it right near that daily. We have some liquidity resting right above that daily. So if we did took all this liquidity into the daily at 87.373, I think it was, and then pumped up. And then, of course, our third level of liquidations down here is that really important like 85K level that I was showing you for that ABC correction, that one-to-one target for the ABC correction down here. And it's also the swing fail pattern of the entire ascending channel that I was showing you guys for the few weeks. So we need to watch that, that we still do have our big range volume pull of the entire ascending channel. You could look at 90K is a big area to be watching because it's the SFP of these lows here. Now Bybit took those lows and it's at 92.90 on Bybit there, down there. But we still do have that to be watching. Now on this chart here, remember, I made this channel based off this pivot, and this pivot, and we've just been trading sideways in this channel pretty much. We were starting to lose it. We were able to reclaim it quickly. Then looks like we reclaimed it, came back down, held it as support. So we reestablished the trend back within this channel. Now we might come up to take to the midline here, which would actually be kind of nice. Let's check this out, actually. If we go from the high to the low here. Yeah. All right, this looks pretty good, you guys. 96.6 is looking really nice because we do have the liquidity that's resting from our last high from yesterday, or yeah, the 31st here. And we have the SFP of this local high here, so local internal liquidity grab of this range here into the golden pocket and the midline of this channel. So this could look real nice here, something like that. And then just keep ranging. Just keep the range going. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. That's the update on Bitcoin. Now I'm going to go into the two coins that someone asked about, and ADA and XRP. And they asked to go into them using Bybit and USDT. USDT. So we'll go to Bybit. All right, so ADA's getting a pretty good pump today. Wow, looking kind of nice there. Let me zoom out on this and let's go back into our price action. Yeah, you can see we still got the boxes laid out that I'm looking at for ADA. bigger resistance up here and here, and then bigger support down here and here, but we're still just trading in this sideways range. Now we are starting to break it, and then you can see our descending channel that's been really an important trend on the way down. We held the midline, kind of went sideways, and now we're breaking it to the upside. So we could see ADA start to pump more. Money flow looks pretty good here, and the momentum wave still looks like it has some juice left in it. Let's go to the 1 hour and look at market cipher. Yeah, no bearish divergences here. I mean, this is looking pretty good. Let's go on to the 15 minutes. We are still kind of seeing that same 15-minute bear div, though. So that 15-minute bear div, what we did now that we broke this sideways range that we're seeing, you can see we broke the value area high of this range. So we could see something like, and we also broke the channel. Actually, I can see here right away. Let me turn off the magnet. Let me get our trend line. You can see we had like kind of a descending channel here, or a symmetrical triangle. Now, symmetrical triangles are continuation patterns. So when you see a pump in, and then we start consolidating in the symmetrical triangle, it's a continuation pattern. So the higher probability is to, if we pumped coming into it, consolidate, the higher probability is to pump coming out of it. And that's exactly what we did. Now, let's look at this if that was a possible like bear pennant type, or bull pennant, excuse me. I would say no, just based off the volume spikes here, the red volume spikes here, because you want to see as that pennant is forming or the flag is forming, you want to see volume continually decreasing as it's forming, and we don't see that. We see some spikes in red. We do see an increase in volume, though, on the breakout, which is healthy and good. So that is a good sign. Even if it's not a bull pennant, we can expect us to, that breakout with volume is supporting a healthy move upwards. So now what we can be looking at is we broke the value area high and we broke the bigger, much bigger, important descending channel. What we could see with this 15-minute bear div is we could see a push down to retest the channel and the value area high, kind of something like a box like this, and then continue the trend upwards. If we do keep dropping, we do have our point of control here around the retest of that pitchfork. I believe that's the pitchfork line. Let's look. Yeah, that's that pitchfork that we were talking about. So now that we're back above that pitchfork, and I did talk about this as well on, let me hide this. I talked about this as well the other day when I did this analysis. I said oftentimes when you break a pitchfork bullishly like this, you'll come back to back test it and then continue higher. So we're in the process of that back test of the pitchfork now that we broke it up, come back to back test it, then continue higher. It is holding as support. You can see we're kind of chopping right on it a little bit. Let's zoom into the 4 hour. Yeah, just chopping around right at the retest here, and then it's breaking the channel and this smaller range value area high, so we might see some continuation up to these areas here. We do have the bear dip to play out, so we might see a little bit of a more micro pullback back down. Let's zoom in onto the 1 hour. Yeah, I do think that POC in retest of that pitchfork is still a good level to be watching. We can also do a fib pull from these lows here to the highs. Okay, and then we have the 786 in the value area low. So if we do break back into the range after a fake out of a value area high, if we do start to, come down from the bear divs, maybe we come back down here, hit into here, see a bounce up to the value area low, reject the value area low, we can expect to push down to the value area, so break down to the POC and the pitchfork, break up to the value area high, reject from the retest of the value area high, then we come back down to the 786 and value area low. That is if this range is going to continue, which is actually highly probable that the range still continues because we are in the low volume week and it's still just showing signs of ranging. This breakout right here is a little bit bullish here. We'll watch that to continue to see if that happens. You can watch for now this sideways range here. You can watch for the liquidity grab up here. Right up here. You can watch for that. about 99.8 there. Let's see what else we got there. Let's look at the fib pull here. We're going to do a fib pull from high to low. And then, yeah, okay, so we have our golden pocket. So we do have the SFP of the highs into the golden pocket. That would be kind of nice to see as another area to be watching there. So we could do something like a back test like this, break up to here, SFP this high into the golden pocket, and then close like an hourly candle at or below the SFP and see a move down. That's something to be watching for. As far as support goes, we do have, I mean, the value area low 786 is going to be a level to be watching for that. Let's do our fib pull from the bottom to the top of this smaller range. Yeah, and our 786 here. Really, if we drop back into this channel and back into this range, it is highly probable that we come down to the value area low again. But I think this is just going to continue ranging sideways. So just trade the range on this. Trade the range until it breaks. Might be breaking now, so you can look for the back test on a pullback to get in to go higher. But just keep looking at it. You know, keep watching the range, see if it's going to break. See this back test here. If you see signs of this back test holding, maybe you could take a long from there. If I did something like that, so let's say you were speculating on a possible long on the back test like this area here. I would put my stops just right below these local lows of that like low time frame symmetrical triangle, and then you could bring it up. You know, TP1 up there would be a pretty good move there. It's a 6.55 risk reward ratio. You would TP some right at the SFP, so that's still a 5 risk reward ratio there. But if we drop back, if we lose these lows and continue to drop back down, I don't know if I would be leaving this long open. I definitely wouldn't do something like this. That's even, I mean, that's a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, or like that's, you know, a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. But I still don't know if I don't know if I'd do that. I'd probably close this one out and then retry down here, and then, you know, you could retry down here if you wanted to. All right, so that's XRP. Let's next go to, or that was ADA, excuse me, I'm sorry. Now let's go to XRP. And we're going to do Bybit again. Okay, so it looks like we're hitting into one of the boxes that I drew the other day. Let's zoom out on this. 4 hour. Yeah, so we're still chopping within this channel, this descending channel, this bigger descending channel. We do still have our big support around 190. You know, it's the back test of this pitchfork that we broke out of, similar to ADA. It's the golden pocket. It is the liquidity grab of this range here that we're trading in. Let's pull this. Let's bring this up. All right. So right now we are at the point of control here, and I do believe that's also a golden pocket. Let's do the golden pocket here. Yeah, so we're at the point of control, golden pocket, and the highs of this smaller range within the bigger range. So from here to present day. So we might see a pullback from here. It looks like so far it's holding strong. Let's zoom in here onto the 1 hour chart. I mean, money flow still looks pretty decent there. Our momentum wave, even though it topped, you can kind of see it's going sideways, and maybe we can see another curl up. But we did get the swing failure pattern, confirmed swing failure pattern here, but we didn't drop very much, and now we're continuing up. Oh, this is a tough one. Let's look on the 15-minute here. So we are seeing local. No, that's not bear divs. Okay, so XRP is not really seeing bear divs here, because you can see price actions making higher highs, but the momentum waves were also making higher highs. And now with this local one, if this does go higher and take this high into the 0.65, and this momentum wave's not topped out, so if we do something like hold this POC, come up here, hit this 6.5, and then this momentum wave kind of starts bottoming out like this, you would see bearish divs confirm then. But I don't see bearish divs right now here like we are on ADA and Bitcoin on the 15-minute. So it is looking a little bit more strong. We might not reject from this purple box here. If we start closing candles like an hourly candle below this POC, then we might see a push down. So let's watch that. Let's zoom back out. And then we could do a fib pull from the low of December 30th, which 2 days ago, to the high that we made earlier today. All right, so look at this, guys. This is great. If we do reject from this POC here, then we can drop to the value area low and our local golden pocket. That's a support level to be watching now for a higher low in the making and continue the trend. Now, a little bit below that, if we do the JC pocket, you can see our midline of the big descending channel is right at the 786. So that's another really good level to be watching because this will take some time to drop there. It's not going to drop. So say we just kind of chop down, maybe see a bounce and then continue. That could be the level to watch too. So I'd be taking these once again as two separate trades. You'd look at the golden pocket into the value area low. If we lose that and wick past it, you could be looking at this little area here, the 786 into the midline. And then if we lose that, we're probably coming for these lows or these lows here, probably actually down to 190 to our bigger support level here. So that's what I would be looking at on XRP. I still say this here, this pitchfork midline into the value area high is still really important. If we do decide to go up a little bit more. And then if we zoom out even more, we have the liquidity grab up here. That's, remember, the second pivot of channels. If we break the channel up, but the second pivot, yeah, so if we break that channel up, we're most likely coming for these highs, and we might even take these highs here. I believe this is the all-time high on some exchanges anyways. This does look, let me clean this up now so you guys can see. Not that. All right. And we can look, let's turn on the volume here. So, you know, one thing that's pretty nice about this here, this kind of does look like it could be a valid bull flag. We have our volume increasing here. Now, we did see some volume decline here, but it ended with a spike of volume. So overall volume's increasing on the pole. And then you can see since we started to form this high here, and the descending channel's been forming, our volume is decreasing this entire time. So it is valid volume confirmation for a possible bull flag. I don't know if I would trade it as a bull flag. Like, I don't think I would take my target of the pole and then like make my TP the breakout level. Like if you did something like this and say we drop to like 190, retest that. I don't know if I'd be keeping my TP level at 1060 or $11 or so. But you could look at that as a possible bull flag. We still do have our support area here, the box. Actually, let's look here. We do have a new daily level to be watching. Here. And this daily's still up. This daily's still open up here too, and that's within our box. So we got our box of resistance here, the daily, the value area high, the top of the channel, just a bit higher from like, 256 to 253. That's a box of resistance. We have this down here. We do have the fresh daily within this as well. Down here. So yeah, our boxes that we drew. We have those. Let's go to the weekly. We do have a new weekly, actually. I'm going to take off this daily down here and put on this weekly. Actually, I'm sorry. It's not a weekly yet. It's just a weekly open. The candle, the week hasn't finished yet. There we go. All right. So yeah. So that's that. Let me go back to ADA real quick. Okay, we do have that daily that's right down there. Let me fix what I just did. Here. So that daily is right next to that value area low. If we zoom in onto the 1 hour. And then we also had that 786 down there. So that is looking like our box here. There you go on